Hi guys, welcome back to Life Matters with Langwan Leslie, your host on Biana Community Channel. If this is your first time of stopping by, welcome. Biana Community Channel seeks to spur people up. It seeks to give people their own point of view on certain matters in life. It makes people get to a point where they are like, okay, I have to be encouraged. I'm not alone. People have been in my situation. People have lived my situation and they have succeeded and they have gone out of it feeling better. And so to our old subscribers, we want to say thank you to all of you. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and above all hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever we upload new videos. So straight to our video and focus of today, we are going to be talking about shock. And I'm going to be dwelling more on the emotional aspect of shock. Remember 2 years back we COVID stroke. Remember what happened? It was a shock to the world. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody was prepared for it. That is what happens when you get shocked. Remember, people lost their homes, people lost their jobs they had worked for, people lost loved ones, and some people have not even fully recovered from the shock of COVID. People lost money. Even the world has not recovered fully from the losses. Offices were shut down and so many things could not function because of that shock of COVID. Today I want you to be able to make sure you watch through this video so that you are able to get our 5 points or 5 things you have to do that will help you immediately you get a shocking news to fully recover at some point, or to be able to recover or take each day at a time. Before I begin, the points you need to note or the things you should do when you get any shocking news, I want us to remember that as a human being, you should be able to get to a place where you understand that shock can happen at any time. Sometimes we do things that promotes shock or makes us to get into a shocking situation or get a shocking news. For example, if you treated a friend or a partner or a loved one badly and you lose them, then you did something to get them to that point or to get yourself to that point. So at that point, even if you had done something or you had not done something, you will still experience shock, and it's still going to take you the same time to heal, sometimes, or even more. So the focus is not going to be on whether you caused it or not. The focus is going to be for you to be able to get to a point where you tell yourself, it can come to me at any point. It is not going to be the first, it might not be the last, and I'm going to feel pain. It's going to be difficult, but if I have pre-knowledge, if I'm prepared to an extent, then the effects of shock is not going to be as much as somebody who is just living their lives and forgetting that there can be a situation that can happen to them that will lead them to shock. So this time, if you are prepared to an extent, then when you get shock, you are semi-prepared. You see, semi-prepared, because nobody, even when you know that something can happen, even if you are in the hospital with a loved ones, even if you are in the hospital with a loved one and they pass on, you might have been told earlier on that they might not recover from their illness or something, but even when it happens, it still leaves you in shock. So shock is something that everybody at some point, or we all have to be able to know how to deal with shock at any given point in time, which is why I want you to share this video with a loved one. Share this video with somebody that is important in your life. Share this video with your children. Share this video with anybody that you think it is going to be able to help them. Maybe they are already going through a shocking situation. So to our first point, I want you to know that when you have a shocking news, or when you receive a shocking news, the first thing you should do, or let me say you shouldn't do, is to talk about it immediately. Yes. Don't talk about it immediately. Don't try to call people and tell them what has happened. Don't try to explain the situation immediately, because what that does is it makes you get into flashback. It makes you relive that situation. It makes the situation come back fresh in your memory. So it's not advisable for you to just get the shocking news and start telling people about it, or start struggling to read through it or look through it or evaluate it and all of that. The best thing to do whenever you get such news is for you to just give yourself The little calm you can, because it's not difficult to, it's not easy to even stay in calm, because these are news that come to you and leave you in shock. They leave you in confusion. They leave you in numbness. They leave you in a place of anxiety, worry, anger, bitterness, and so on. You see, so you want to be in a place where if that news comes to you, you are able to just sip it in to an extent before you start explaining to people. Okay, that leads us to the second point. The second point is for you to reach out to people you can count on, people you can rely on, people you think you can talk to easily, people who can understand you, people who have known you for a long time, or who you think I have an idea of, or might be able to even help you in that situation without necessarily asking you questions. If you want to reach out to a counselor, maybe you don't have loved ones around you, or you can't count on them, you can't rely on them in a situation as such, maybe you can reach out to a counselor. Hospitals have counselors, police stations have counselors, communities have counselors that are free, that can help you in that circumstance. So try to make use of the resources that you have around you whenever you have a situation that leaves you in shock. All right, that said, the third point is for you to distract yourself as much as you can immediately in that circumstance when it's still very fresh in your memory. Try to distract yourself. Try to watch movies if you are a fan of movies. Try to go out and have some stroll. Try to just be in a place where nobody knows you. Have some quiet time. So distracting yourself, at that point is one of the most important things that will help you take yourself off the situation. And then when you revisit the situation, we always know that it feels a lot lighter than it was initially. Not in all cases, but in most cases, whenever you leave something alone and then you come back to look into it, it's always a lot easier for you to handle than when you just have it fresh in your memory and all of that, and you're trying to handle it. So that said, we go to the third. This should be the third point. The third point is to accept the situation, okay? Accept your feeling, accept the situation for what it is. Tell yourself this has happened, because so many times people get into deeper shock after they've gotten a news that is difficult, because they get to a place where they tell themselves, I don't think this has happened to me. I don't think this can happen to me. I don't believe this is the truth. Maybe you were living with this spouse and you have this promise of forever marriage, or you are in this relationship, you are hoping to ring the bell someday or wed someday and so on, and then they just give you a shocking news, or you discover they've had another relationship somewhere, that they've planned to get married, they've eloped with somebody else, or you get a news of a sudden death of a loved one, or you lost a job that you had worked so much to secure that job. A lot of things happen that keep people in shock. Okay, so if you are in that situation, try to tell yourself the truth, because if you don't tell yourself the truth, then you keep reliving it. Okay, you don't tell yourself. You hear people say this is impossible. No, it's a lie. I can't believe I just lost this person. This person is not dead. It cannot be true. So when you are in that position, you end up maybe in the hospital, and you end up in a place where you start getting treatment. You start having to go to counseling session and all of that, because you've not even accepted the situation. So the next thing to do is to accept the situation and accept your feeling. How you feel is legit. It's always legit, because not everybody is going to feel the same way in every situation. Somebody will take a shocking situation and they are just like easy, and another person will take it and they'll be like they are mad. Okay, so not to blame anybody who reacts anyhow with any situation. We are different, we are all different, but the bottom line is to get to a place of acceptance. Get to a place where you tell yourself this has happened. I'm not the first person to go through this. Other people have gone through this. I can reach out to them. I can talk to people. I have this other, like, just look at the things you have around you. Look at the life you have in front of you. Even if it's an illness, if it is incurable, you have some time to live. The moment you have to live is to be able to accept it and live the short time you have to live. If you need to go through treatment, accepting it will help you to be able to start that treatment. Okay, so you need to get to that place of acceptance. It's very important. Okay, the fourth point, or the fourth thing you should do, or I think is the fifth thing. Okay, the fifth thing you have to do, or the last thing you should do whenever you get a shocking news or a shocking situation, is for you to be able to self-care. This is so important, guys. You need to be able to self-care. When I talk about self-care, you know, when you get shocking news, sometimes it feels as if you shouldn't even leave your room. Yes, you shouldn't even have a change of dress. That is the feeling you get. Believe me, I've been there. I've had shocking news, and the feeling I get is just to just stay in this position and never even, you don't even want to turn around. You just want to stay in that position that you are in. That is how your body feels. But you have to be able to get yourself to a place where you are able to uplift yourself as much as to get out, get a bath, refresh yourself, get something little, no matter how small, to eat, drink enough water to keep yourself hydrated, which is where your relative or loved ones come in handy. If they are around you, at least they can motivate you to an extent from time to time to take little sips of water, to be able to take little food at a time, and to be able to motivate you and distract you from the current situation. Yes, guys, you need to self-care, because if you don't do self-care, then you get to a place where your system starts shutting down. Okay, your system starts shutting down if you don't accept the situation, if you don't reach out to people who can help you, if you don't motivate yourself, distract yourself, or do whatever you can do, the points that I've raised, then your system starts shutting down, your organs start shutting down, you have blockages, you have your body, your entire body start hurting and so on. So at that point, you might have to go to the hospital and stay in the hospital. What if you don't have somebody that can be able to be by your bedside to stay with you? You stay in that condition for a long time. I've worked in the healthcare system. I've seen people who have been shut down, who have been bedridden because of a shocking news they got, and they never recovered from it. Okay, so you want to be able to, as much or as little as you can, to walk through these points that I've raised, to get yourself to a place where you can be able to start healing, the healing process, a little at a time, one day, taking one day at a time. So guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If this was a good video to you and you think you learned something, please don't forget to share with loved ones. Leave us comments, let us know what we are doing right, what we are doing, where we need to grow. Give us your own opinion. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As I said before, that is so important. Thank you so much. Try to watch our other videos. They are also very important. Life Matters is general. And also, see you in our next video. Thank you so much. Bye.